Thanks for joining us today. My name is Linda Chipperfield. I am VP Marketing for Greenseal. I'm also a past board member and current advisory council member for the U.S. Green Building Council, so welcome on our behalf. I'm really excited to host this presentation today about sustainability. I'll tell you what it's about. Public-private partnership for sustainable future in Los Angeles. Because really it's not just about greening one building. If you can green a whole city, that's even better. We have some knowledgeable speakers here to talk about this subject. My hope is that you'll be able to take the information that you hear today and take it home and use it in your own town. Take it back to Cleveland, take it back to Jacksonville, which is evacuating. Please send some love down to my friends down there on the coast. I'd like to introduce our speakers. Susanna Reyes is from the City of LA, the Office of Mayor Garcetti. Patty McJennett represents the LA Tourism and Convention Board. Jeff Gould is on the LA Better Buildings Challenge. And Gary Peterson works with me. He runs the Greenseal office here in LA. What we're talking about today is a partnership where everybody benefits. The city benefits, the hotels, the guests in the hotels, the community at large, and of course our environment benefits. So that's a really important, when you're trying to get a bunch of people together to cooperate and collaborate, everybody's got to get something out of it, and they do. With this partnership, it's successful. Basically what you're going to learn today is how to put one of these partnerships together, how we did it, how we created the partnership, how we help hotels build a green team within their operation, how to find the rebates and the incentives that your city could offer for a hotel, and ultimately how to get them certified. That's what Greenseal does. We certify the hotel operation. This guy, Mayor Garcetti, and his predecessor, Mayor Villaraigosa, were huge supporters of this program and have been instrumental in making it a success. So when you try to do this, when you go back to Cleveland and try to get this done, it really helps if the mayor is on board and is a green mayor. I recommend that highly. So first I'd like to, a little bit about the presentation. So the speakers are each gonna give a little short presentation, and then in between their presentations, there's gonna be a little video about the successes and the importance of this program in LA. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have questions at the end, the mic is gonna eventually be right there. We were gonna put one there. So please hold your questions to the end, and I hope that you have lots and hope you enjoy it. So first up is Susanna Reyes.
Okay. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Susanna Reyes, and it is my privilege and my pleasure to be here today. And on behalf of LA Mayor Eric Garcetti, we welcome you to Greenbuild Expo, and we'll be talking today about one of the most successful public-private partnerships that we have in Los Angeles. But I want to preface it and talk about sustainability as the foundation. When we think about sustainability, we think about sustainability as a value that we embed in the way the city operates and provides services to 4 million residents in the city. When we think of sustainability, we think of the 500,000 more people who will be calling LA home by 2035. The traffic conditions, the noise, the air pollution, our drought that has been with us for over 5 years now, and our housing crisis. But when we address those challenges, we take into perspective that LA is becoming a mega city that offers more options in terms of entertainment, lodging, recreation, culture, and arts, and green jobs. And LA is becoming one of the greenest cities in the world. We source our energy from renewable sources. We have a zero waste ordinance and a zero waste franchise that's coming up in 2017. We have run a fleet of electric vehicles. We have 1,000 publicly available charging stations in the city, and we promote safer, livable neighborhoods. And it is in that sustainable city plan that we embedded a goal of increasing the certification of businesses to become green businesses. And that is where the topic that we'll be talking about today is how did we create that partnership and how we can sustain it over the years. And the Green Lodging Program is a natural outburst of that particular partnership. And so if we talk about green lodging, we focus on the hospitality industry, but it's really more than that. It's more about the livability of the neighborhoods and the environmental beautification that we are talking about here in LA. And looking ahead, fingers crossed, we're gonna get the bid for the 2024 Summer Olympics, and all eyes will be on the city of Los Angeles. So let me talk briefly about the background on the Green Business Program. That was established in 2007 under the former Mayor Villaraigosa's administration. And in 2009, we partnered with LA Community College District, who implements and administers the certification of businesses. When you're certified as a green business, it means that you, in your operations, have considered being green, whether it's for your purchasing, it's for your waste management, energy conservation, water conservation in your particular type of business. And it promotes the environmental responsibility, good business practices, and community concerns. We have three components. We have the Green Lodging Program that we'll be talking about today. We have the Green Business Program in partnership with LACCD, and we also have the Green Arts Program that's in partnership with our Department of Cultural Affairs and the Arts Earth Partnership. Mayor Garcetti strongly supports this public-private partnership because it benefits not only the businesses, but the neighborhoods as well. So let me backtrack and lay out the foundation for our sustainable policies in the city. Last year, Mayor Garcetti released the first ever comprehensive sustainable city plan, or we call it the plan, right? And that's a roadmap really to increase environmental protection, enable our economy to be more stable, and build equity in our community. And it is time-bound. We have interconnected targets, whether it's local water, local solar, mobility and transit, resiliency and preparedness, air quality, and even environmental justice. So soon after that release of the plan, several local governments followed suit and wanted to push forward a similar plan of their own. And that's our LA County government, who's already moving towards that direction. We also released the annual report on Earth Day this year, and it tracked the progress of about 263 initiatives that are in the Sustainable City Plan. Our Adopt the Plan program are for neighborhood councils, universities and businesses, community-based organizations who would like to adopt certain elements of the plan. And we publicize their success stories in our annual report. And we work with them to ensure that they are aligned with the goals of the Sustainable City Plan. We also released the Climate Action Report last year, and that's really a bold move on the part of the city because we targeted a reduction of 45% by 2025, 60% by 2035, and 80% by 2050 against a 1990 baseline for all greenhouse gas emissions. That's huge for the city of Los Angeles. And the plan also works with the Metropolitan Transit Agency, our Metropolitan Water District, the South Coast Air Quality Management Districts, because the mayor has key appointments to those boards and organizations, and they're able to make sure that they invest in transit, they increase local conservation for our water, and also they improve our air quality. I want to focus on one particular plan outcome that's in the Sustainable City Plan. Has something to do with the green lodging program, has something to do with buildings, because buildings are the largest consumers of electricity, and they're the largest emitters of greenhouse gas emissions. So in our Sustainable City Plan, we put initiatives that are smart, cost-effective, to retrofit buildings that are existing, and also to make plans for new buildings for them to be more sustainable. And that has enabled us to create local green jobs and lower our energy bills. We want to focus also on the success of the LA Better Building Challenge, which my colleague here will be talking about in a few minutes, because they were able to surpass the goal of having more commercial buildings to be retrofitted, and working with our municipal utility, the LA Department of Water and Power, to offer them incentives and rebates for those energy conservation measures. We're also working on an ordinance in the city that will look at disclosure of building energy use, and that ordinance is still pending, but hopefully it will be ready by next year. So we also have some good examples of buildings that have adopted the plan and have really worked hard to lower their energy usage. So let's focus on the Green Lodging Program, what it is and what that significant partnership is that we have here with our stakeholders today. That program concentrates on the hospitality industry, and it is focused on the certification of hotels by the Green Seal in partnership with the Los Angeles Tourism and Convention Board, the LA Better Building Challenge, and the LA Bureau of Sanitation, which oversees the program. And so when you are a certified hotel, you are considered a leader in sustainability. It means that you have completed a certification process and an on-site audit. There are 3 levels of certification. We have the bronze level, the silver level, and the gold level, which is the topmost level. And to qualify, hotels must demonstrate sustainable practices in waste management, energy efficiency, wastewater management, hazardous waste disposal, and environmentally sensitive purchasing practices. To the topmost, the only hotel so far that has earned the gold level is our Hilton Los Angeles Universal City. And a lot of those hotels that you see there are silver or bronze certified. So this particular partnership is very intentional and has a very meaningful approach to it. We target a partnership with the hotels. There's an independent contractor that works with them on the assessment and on the requirements that they will be following in order to be certified. The LA Better Building Challenge is there to help ensure that the hotels receive all the DWP rebates that they're entitled to. So looking back to the 2024 Summer Olympic bid, if we get that bid, we'll know by next year if we will. The tourism and hospitality industry will be huge benefactors of that Olympics award. We'll probably have more than 600 tourists that the 2012 Olympics in London had, and we're prepared for that. If you look at our plan for the Olympics bid, we assessed how many existing and planned hotels and accommodations we will need. And so we already planned that, the number of rooms that are going to be required to accommodate the tourists that will be here. But one thing that I want to mention is that the International Olympic Committee itself acknowledges that there is a need for environmental protection and stewardship for the host city, for every host city that hosts the Olympics. They want to ensure that that host city has a plan, a sustainable city plan. They want to ensure that the Olympics has an environmental message. They want to ensure that the host city follows all the required action when it comes to environmental legislation. And they want to ensure that that city maximizes its environmental potential. And we are prepared for that, just with all the policies that I've mentioned earlier. And according to a survey by TripAdvisor, nearly 57% of travelers choose to stay in a green hotel, and that nearly half of them are willing to pay extra money so that they can stay at an eco-friendly accommodation. That's huge. The hospitality industry also spends nearly $4 billion when it comes to energy usage per year, $4 billion, of which 70% of that is electricity. So what do we have in Los Angeles? So if you're certified as a hotel, you can put up solar panels, because there are studies that show that solar panels can generate 25% of the energy of that hotel. And there's also so many research out there that shows that hotel patriots, the patrons that use those accommodations that are green, and if a hotel offers green practices, most of the customers participate in those practices. So on this last slide, I just want to mention that the hotels are not just going to be concentrated in downtown LA. There are clusters of hotels, whether they're in downtown by the coast, South Bay, and the Valley. So we've also looked at all of that just to ensure that during the Olympics that there will be enough hotels and accommodations. So LA will really be looking to promoting this green lodging program as one of the perks or benefits that Angelenos, tourists, and hotels can experience over the years. It is a huge benefit for hotels themselves as they look at the cost savings and the investments in sustainable practices as the new norm for doing business in Los Angeles. The Green Lodging Program is a true partnership. Each partner, that you will meet them today, is accountable for the outcomes, and each partner is invested in sustainability. The city of Los Angeles cannot do it alone. So it is on behalf of Mayor Garcetti that I want to express our acknowledgement of the significance and the importance of this public-private partnership, and I want to thank all the stakeholders, the representatives that are here with me on this panel for their continued involvement and participation. So thank you for this opportunity, and I think we have a short clip that we want to show you.
We know California, in particular Los Angeles, can and will lead the way to show how we create sustainable communities and a competitive economy. And so one of the first tasks the mayor gave me was to create our sustainable city plan, a comprehensive review of all of the city's operations, all the impacts the city has on its citizens and its residents and its businesses.
Buildings really are one of the city's biggest assets, and when it comes to greenhouse gas emissions, they're the largest contributor.
You know, I started doing all this environmental activism, if you will, in 1970 with the first Earth Day. And what caused me to do that? It was living in smoggy LA. That was a very strong and negative influence, if you will, that caused me to take action. I had lived 2 decades, 20 years in this smoggy San Fernando Valley, and after 20 years of it, I said enough. I want to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
Hello, everybody. I'm Patty with LA Tourism and Convention Board, and part of our responsibility is to book the conventions that come to Los Angeles. So I have a particularly warm welcome for all of you who are here today. You're keeping us in business. Thank you. There's another person or another entity that is also part of this partnership who is not here today, and that is the Hotel Association of Los Angeles. And they, of course, represent the hospitality community, so having their support is really quite critical to the whole success of this partnership. Today, I think most of you know, tourism is big business. Once it was thought to be more of a frivolous business, but today it is truly big business. In Los Angeles, we attracted last year 45.6 million visitors. And it is also very much recognized as an economic driver for cities both large and small across the country. In LA, it contributed $20.6 billion just in direct spend. Then when you translate that into economic impact, it's about $31.6 billion. And I think most of you know who have tourism in your city, which is almost now every city these days. It is certainly a large employer. LA, leisure and hospitality accounted for over 488,000 jobs. And those, by the way, are good jobs. They are entry jobs in many cases, but very good jobs. And what has really brought, I think, the importance of tourism to government is the taxes both at the municipal and the state level that are raised. And so in LA, it's over $2.5 billion. I know some of you are taking my picture, but I know you're actually really looking at the slide behind us, but I think we will make the presentations available afterwards. Okay. So when we practice this, I had a mic on me. Now I'm multitasking here, so here we go. Conventions are a very important piece of the business, both conventions and conferences. And we're starting to see a trend that we didn't see really 10 years ago and really within the last 5 years, that meeting planners and conference planners are becoming very serious about wanting to produce a responsibly green meeting. Years ago, that's just not something that we saw in RFPs, but we're seeing that now today. And they're asking, so what is the city doing or what is the city not doing to be green? And in LA, we of course have a very good story to tell. We've got a convention center that is LEED certified. We have actually our largest attraction, Universal Studios Hollywood, is the largest solar theme park in the country. And then on top of that, we've got our all-electric metro, and as extensive as LAX is, the international terminal is LEED certified as well. When a meeting planner, particularly convention planner, conference planner, looks at a destination, the first thing they're going to look at is how green is the convention center. But the second most important thing is the hotel package. And as they look at the quality of hotels and the inventory of hotels, they're asking now, how seriously green are your hotels? And thanks to the leadership of the city, thanks to this partnership that has really evolved, Green Seal certification gives us that street cred that really is, it's very much understood as to be a very serious form of certification. And as Susanna mentioned, we're proud of the fact that we've got nearly 7,000 hotels, rooms certified. We do know we have a long ways to go, but we're working on that, and you'll hear more about that later. One of the good things, too, is that the hotels that we have certified are located in the LAX area and the downtown area, both of which are where our largest inventory of hotels are. The other thing, too, I should mention is that in Los Angeles, we're running at about 85% occupancy, which I have to say is record-breaking, and you see that in a lot of cities right now across the country. And you think about the fact that these are 24/7-hour operations, so you can really see the importance that a program like the Green Lodging Program has on conservation, energy and water conservation efforts of a city like Los Angeles. Here, let's see. Did I skip something here? Sorry, guys. One of the things that we're seeing is a real trend. How do I go back? Sorry, guys. See, I told you this multitasking thing. Okay, so in LA, being able to really position Los Angeles as a green destination has translated into some real wins for us. You see here a list of conventions that it has made a difference in whether we were able to get the meeting or not. American Institute of Architects, which is coming in 2020, they're bringing 20,000 people with them, and the direct impact of that's going to be about $24 million. So it really does make a difference to LA. The one, like for instance, that American Speech, I mean, it's not necessarily aligned with green, but they are very much green-minded. That's another, 15,000 people who are coming to deliver about another $14 million worth of economic activity for Los Angeles. And then, of course, Greenbuild. You guys are here. We're also really pleased to see that within the industry associations are really pushing the whole green agenda. You've got some of the industry organizations, for instance, like a Destination Marketing International, that are talking and asking the questions to us, how sustainable is your destination? You've got organizations like the International Convention and Congress Association that are really challenging the meeting planner, the convention planner themselves. How green is your meeting? They're providing checklists, they're providing tools to really help educate the conference and convention planner. We're seeing this trend also start to grow in business meetings, but certainly at a much slower pace than we're seeing it at the convention and the conference level. But you do have the Global Business Travel Association, for instance, saying that international companies are starting to pay more attention to how sustainable is a destination. Susanna already mentioned about TripAdvisor, that we are seeing that even a little more slowly, but certainly consumers are getting much more aware of, if they have a choice, yes, let's go green. And then you've got some of our bigger hotels saying they're actually getting asked, how big is our carbon footprint? So it's a trend that is really picking up steam. LA, as you know, is known for rolling out the red carpet, but we now want to be known for rolling out the green carpet. And so we have a whole campaign, actually, Meet LA, that's aimed specifically at the convention and conference organizers. And we have a site that's devoted to them, as I said, and then we've devoted a portion of that site to really positioning and encouraging them to choose a green meeting in Los Angeles. On the site, we obviously talk about the green LA hotels, but then we also talk about the green venues, large or small. And then they also want to know just the facts about Los Angeles. And thankfully, Los Angeles has really strong practices, and we're able to communicate that to the associations as well. We have a website for consumers, which is discoverlosangeles.com. We get about 3 million visits to that each year. And so we've also added that as a component. So as they're looking what kind of hotel they want to stay, if it's hip or trendy or it's luxury, we've also added green. And we're pleased to see that we're getting traction on that as well. We're pretty proud of the fact, as I mentioned and Susanna mentioned, we've got about 7,000 hotels already certified, but we have a long ways to go, and there's lots of opportunities to do so. But having said that, right now we are the largest city in the United States with the most Green Seal certified rooms, so we are very proud of that. But we're going to continue to work through this partnership, work with our hotels to ensure that LA will continue to stay the largest green destination in the country. So, and we're going to show you yet another clip.
We talked about how would this be accepted by our guests. Also, would it bring business? And it was a pleasant surprise when a couple of our meeting planners came up to us, and part of their request for proposal when they're looking to hold a meeting, it asks about your sustainability practices at the hotel.
We've asked the City of Los Angeles to conserve water, and we've already reduced water use by 17% in just a year.
Just by changing out all the shower heads in the entire hotel, it saves over 10 million gallons of water per year.
The Mayor's Sustainable City Plan has bold goals for energy and water reductions, and existing buildings are amongst the largest consumers in the city. So helping to reduce consumptions in our building portfolio is really going to help the city achieve those goals.
The city alone can't do it, the mayor alone can't do it. We need partners like the Better Building Challenge, like the companies that build and operate these important buildings that are part of our economy here in Los Angeles. And it's really only together we can succeed.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good, good, excellent. I'm Jeff Gould, Director of the Los Angeles Better Buildings Challenge. I'd like to thank USGBC and Greenbuild for having us here today. It's an honor to be in LA hosting Greenbuild this year. I'm a former USGBC LA board member, so really exciting to see the market transformation here in Los Angeles that we've seen and the buzz around sustainability in our city. Likely, and also the LA Better Buildings Challenge is very excited to take part in such a unique public-private partnership that is the Green Lodging Program. Really unique in bringing together 5 dynamic organizations to push forward in the hotel sector the message of sustainability and help us all meet and exceed those goals in the city of LA. As we do our research in Los Angeles and quite frankly around America, we look at the hotel sector as probably one of the most wasteful industry sectors in all of commercial real estate. And that's wasteful from the standpoint of energy, water, consumer waste, and the like. And so this partnership is very unique and dear to our heart in LA because we think we can drive the change that's needed to meet our goals on sustainability. We heard Patty and Susanna talk a little bit about the dynamic hotel industry here in Los Angeles, and it is burgeoning. We're talking about the 6th largest hotel sector in America, excuse me. 997 hotels and over 98,000 rooms. And so there's a real opportunity to make an impact here in Los Angeles. And this includes everything from small boutique hotels all the way up to large institutional style hotels. We heard from Mike Charsinski, who's the managing director of the Westin Bonaventure. Really good example of how sustainability drives value. And that's really what our whole conversation is at the Los Angeles Better Buildings Challenge is how do we drive value for these hotels? Not only that, but when you heard from him, you hear somebody who did a retrofit of a shower in one hotel that translated into 10 million gallons a year annually of savings. So really significant impact on one hotel that it can have in the community. So let's talk about LABBC and who we are and what we do. Well, I love Venn diagrams, and I put it on the presentation for a reason here. We are at the nexus of real estate, which represents the hospitality sector in this instance, government and utilities, and technology and innovation. We're really here to help drive market adoption and market transformation. That's what we're all about. And so, we are a unique entity here in Los Angeles in that we are funded by our local utilities, LADWP and SoCalGas, to be that one-stop shop, that resource for commercial property owners here in Los Angeles and talk about the value conversation and the financial conversation around sustainability. That's what makes us unique. We are part of the National Better Buildings Challenge, which all of our goals are in alignment with. The goal of the National Better Buildings Challenge in our program is to improve the efficiency of American commercial, institutional, and multifamily properties 20% by the year 2020. And just to give you some context, the Better Buildings Challenge was launched in 2011 by the Obama administration and the Department of Energy. And there are programs throughout, I know most of you are not all from Los Angeles, so there are programs throughout the country that are partner programs in large cities that are partner cities, including Atlanta, DC, Denver, Boston. So if you're in another city, I'd encourage you to contact your representative, your Better Buildings Challenge representative, and talk about the services and resources that they can offer you locally. We are competing against these cities as well, so we'd like to think here in Los Angeles that we are winning the race already, but that remains to be seen. We still have some time to go here. But just drawing on. So piggybacking on what Susanna was talking about, really the Mayor's Sustainable City Plan gives us a framework, a vision for Los Angeles's commercial buildings. And in our program, the LA Better Buildings Challenge is a cornerstone program of Mayor Garcetti's Sustainable City Plan. The vision here is that we save money and energy by increasing the efficiency of our buildings. And we are, again, a cornerstone program, and so there are some clear short and long-term goals that have been set forth, not only for all commercial properties, but specifically in our discussion today for hotels. One of the goals was to enroll 60 million square feet in the Los Angeles Better Buildings Challenge by 2017. I'm happy to say that we've far surpassed that goal, and I'll talk a little bit about enrollment and where we are today versus where we're going in a second. But one of the other targets, which is a citywide target, is reducing energy use by 30% by 2035, which is a really key goal of ours, and we're really shooting for the stars here in Los Angeles. We really do want to be the greenest big city in the country. One of the key initiatives that Susanna talked a little bit about also was the LA Disclosure Ordinance, the Energy Disclosure Ordinance. Now, this is something that is set to be adopted in 2017, and will have an impact on, to start, hotels over 100,000 square feet. They'll have to be in compliance and disclose their Energy Star score. So there are things coming down the line in the pike here in Los Angeles that are really going to dictate the trends in sustainability in the near future. And I think that's one interesting one that, you know, for those of you that have a disclosure ordinance in your city, you should be aware of, and how do you plan for that? So again, we are a leadership initiative. We are funded by our local utilities, and our goals are in alignment with the National DOE Better Buildings Challenge, which are 20% energy and water savings by the year 2020. We're a local and national competition, so we are competing. We have our partners competing internally here in Los Angeles, and then externally against other partner cities in the country. And then we do provide recognition and free services, which I'll talk a little bit about in a second. So where does the LA Better Buildings Challenge belong in the context of the Green Lodging Program? Well, we think of us as kind of a local resource, a one-stop shop for hotel owners to really vet out the incentives and rebates and opportunities that are available to them here in Los Angeles. You know, a lot of these hotel owners are everything from small hotel owners who only have one facilities manager on site, all the way up to national institutional owners who don't necessarily have the time to look and navigate the myriad of opportunities here locally. So that's what we're here to do, is help guide them on that journey towards meeting their sustainability goals, I should say. This slide is a little old now, because over the past 2 weeks we've actually increased enrollment above 90 million square feet. And so we really are driving market adoption here in Los Angeles. We're seeing a lot of these building owners take note of the disclosure ordinance and want to get in line with sustainability initiatives here. And just taking a piece out of our portfolio, we have about now 14 hotels. Starwood just enrolled 3 or 4 more hotels in the program, and that represents about 5.8 million square feet. So we're continuing to drive this number, and we're really excited about the participation thus far. The suite of services that we offer as part of the Green Lodging Program. So again, you know, we are a free resource for owners, which is nice, and we do have a group of technical advisors on staff that can provide a level of technical assistance to owners and operators. A few of the services that we provide are benchmarking support, so we can help them collect data and look at those and help them analyze data at a high level. Project development plans. A lot of these owners are getting involved in sustainability initiatives at a very early stage, and they haven't really defined what their priorities are around sustainability, so we can help kind of frame that discussion for them. Technical assistance. Again, we have technical advisors on staff who can provide a level of a walkthrough of properties, a level of free technical advice, and then also third-party review, so QA, QC on their energy audits and that sort of thing. Marketing and PR support. So we do have the opportunity to market properties that have enrolled in our program. Case studies, so showcase projects for projects that have completed energy efficiency projects and have exceeded their goals. And then also an innovation awards. We have an annual innovation awards that we partner with the utilities and the mayor's office to recognize the leaders in the community. And then financing. A lot of these hotels are looking for ways to leverage financing in this marketplace. We have our eyes and ears out in the market on PACE and other solutions that they can use to leverage. And so we can help guide them on those discussions. And then, of course, rebate application support. There's so many rebates moving around here in Los Angeles that it's sometimes hard to know what's here or there. And so we're helping them guide them to priority rebates that are available to them. So all of this represents, if you look in the right column, what we're doing and how this benefits hotels. And so really what it comes down to is value and sustainability. The improved guest experience is important. The enhanced branding and PR opportunities are important. We talked about the occupancy increase for some of these hotels that are committed to sustainability, significant cost savings, decreased carbon footprint, city and community recognition, and we were doing some LEED gap assessments prior to Greenbuild as well. So bringing it all together, kind of the one-stop shop idea and the local resource that we provide to these hotel owners, we're connecting the dots, essentially, helping them navigate these programs, connecting the dots to complementary programs that our institutional partners offer in the Department of Energy and the City of Los Angeles. Technology and service programs. We have technology demonstration initiatives that these hotels can actually pilot new technologies that have been vetted through the Department of Energy in their portfolio here locally in Los Angeles. Utility partners, so we connect the dots with utility rebate programs that are available today. And of course, financial partners, that's what we talked about with PACE and other solutions that they can leverage. I wanted to draw some, so what are we talking about here? Give us some examples of what you've done and what we've done here at the Green Lodging Program. One of them is a really good example is the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City. We were able to provide a walkthrough and technical assistance to the hotel owner and manager, provide recommendations and QA/QC on their energy audit, and help guide them to ECM measures, energy conservation measures that would translate into a good ROI that met their standards. And ultimately, they were able to achieve a 22% savings, and the property was awarded the LABBC Energy Efficiency Project of the Year. So on a smaller scale, we also have these boutique hotels, these smaller hotels that are niche, that are representative of kind of the trendy world here in Los Angeles. And we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs there with these hotels. The Hotel Irwin is a really good example of one that's committed to sustainability. And we help them with technical assistance and rebate guidance as well. And they ultimately completed a number of energy conservation measures. They're going out for LEED certification. And we're going to guide them ultimately into the Green Lodging Program to get them participating here as well. And then finally, I feel like we talk a lot about the Bonaventure, but this is a really good example of a hotel that is truly committed to sustainability. And again, they are part of the LA Green Lodging Program, a Green Seal certified hotel, and just a really great example, as you've heard many times, about their commitment to sustainability. So with that, that is my presentation. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And I'd like to thank our esteemed panel. And with that, I think we're going to roll a clip here.
We had been looking for a process to put into place, because we are a very large hotel, to really have an active sustainability program. And it looked like something that would be able to do here at the Westin Bonaventure and truly be measurable. That was something that was really important to the team, not just to say we have a sustainability program, but to be able to quantify it. And now we're composting, along with the city of LA, close to 80 tons a year of food waste that's removed out of our trash that was going to the landfill. We save approximately 1,000 tons per year of waste that would typically go into a dumpster, then into the LA landfills. Last year, we did bottles and cans, 25.1 tons. So that's a lot of bottles and cans. We changed all of our detergents to detergents that don't have phosphates in them anymore. So they're sustainable, certified Ecolab detergents. This year, through a partnership, we replaced every fluorescent lamp in the building with a lamp that uses half of the energy of our older lamps, and it was all paid for by funds that came from the City of Los Angeles.
And that's what businesses are learning, and that's what Green Seal can help these hotels with. To get a Green Seal certification for a hotel, I would be inclined to stay there. If I saw that between Hotel A and Hotel B, if B has that Green Seal certification, that's where I'm staying.
Good afternoon. I'm not going to ask how you are because you've already said. But I have to say, this program is very, very unique. I was the original company, Call Hall Recycling, that started recycling in LA. We had the contract with the city for 20 years, and we did a lot of programs with the city, but nothing like this, because we have all these great departments working together with us to make this happen. Anyway, we're the official certifier for the city of Los Angeles, and that means a lot, not only to Green Seal, but also to the city of Los Angeles. The dynamics, and it's been mentioned before, the dynamics of the program is amazing. The partnership is extensive. As we said, Mayor Garcetti, Department of Public Works, Bureau of Sanitation, Department of Water and Power, Department of Energy, Better Business Challenge, and Green Seal, and the LA Hotel Association. So when all those people get together, things start to happen. We also are an independent third-party certifier, and our life cycle is based on standards and certifying products, services, and operations since 1989. We just had our 25th year anniversary. The GS33 standard is for hotel and lodging properties, is the basis for our hotel certification. Okay, now, another thing that's happened in California, we have a lot of regulations, and this comes down from Sacramento, and I know because I've worked for a governor and helped make some of this happen. And Governor Brown on the drought mandates, which have now been transferred to the local water agencies to make sure that they met their targets. There was a lot of rain in Northern California this year, nothing in Southern California, and it's going to get worse, they say. And the Green Seal certification, certified hotels save water by using water-efficient fixtures and reducing water consumption. And of course, it fits into Plan LA, and you don't mess with the Plan LA. So, then the other thing that all these different Assembly bills and Senate bills come down. AB 32 is our climate action. We have to reduce our GHG emissions by 2020 by 15%. And certified hotels reduce energy and greenhouse gas emissions by installing energy efficient fixtures and equipment. AB 341 is the Recycling Act. This is followed up our 50% Recycling Act, which we did in 1989. This one's 75%. And it also includes all multifamily buildings and commercial buildings. We will hit 75% recycling rate in the state of California. And the certified hotels are great at diverting their recyclables and cutting down on their waste. AB 1826 went in effect in April 1st this year, and it is a food waste, green waste recycling recovery program. We will ban green waste going to landfills by 2020. Financial savings, we talked about the Bonaventure. Well, Bonaventure is kind of like our gold standard here because Michael Cherchinsky, who runs that hotel, is a fabulous guy. These people get engaged in these programs, they own it, and it's really great to work with them. $641,000 a year is not bad to a bottom line of a hotel. They run on very thin margins, and they work really hard. They save on electricity, water, procurement. Procurement policies are really important. It's buying the proper type of cleaning solutions, types of soaps, types of paper. It's really important, and they save money there as well. And what it does is increase the number of people that are coming as customers, conveners, and conferences. Just like we said, there was 57% of that that's going on right now. So, strategic marketing and development. Our plan with Green Seal is that we have a whole marketing system set up once a hotel is certified. A gentleman named Mark Stanlin, who came from Wausau Paper and helped Wausau Paper become, he developed a plan with us at Green Seal to certify their paper products. Once he did that, it increased their sales by 300%. And so he's now working for us at Green Seal, putting together this marketing program that helps the hotel, and we tailor it to the hotel. What are you doing? For instance, the Hilton Hotel at LAX. Well, we just switched out 1,700 beds all at one time. So we help market that these hotels are in their act, they're getting their act together and they're doing stuff. And we also promote it in social media and through basically press releases and things like that. And you saw some quotes back there. One of them's from the Hilton Hotel in Austin at the airport, who said that their whole occupancy rate went up when they were certified. And then meeting planners, they love this because they're being requested to do that. Okay, standards help reduce environmental impacts. Basically, everybody knows this, but efficiency and conservation, fresh water resources, wastewater, waste minimization, handling of hazardous substances. And that is a key issue because when your staff at the hotel, the custodial staff, the housekeeping, they are very, there's one hotel we gave a plaque to. The whole staff that were there at the time showed up in this main room and they were talking about how they cared about what we were doing with the certified hotels in Green Seal's program. Because they know that those products that they're using are non-toxic, non-VOC, and it's good for them and it's good for their guests. And creation, again, of purchasing policies. Now, this is interesting. Achieving gold level certification is a result of efforts and dedication from the entire hotel team, which I just told you about. It fuels our passion, and reinforces our commitment to continue improving our environmental safe and sustainable business practices for years to come. Well, the guy who said that was the guy that made that hotel gold. He was the one that did that. And he went through our process and eventually became a consultant and is now trying to help with certification as an outside consultant. We also have a new person on board named Chris Peck, who's also helping us with certification. We can't do the work for the hotel. An outside consultant does that, and they hire him independently. The other one is really good, is while many of our clients and guests are seeking to do business with climate-conscious companies, we believe being green is just the right thing to do. That is why it's so important. We look to extra steps to go from bronze to silver. Well, after I get done verbalizing that to death. Nick Arauco is the director of guest rooms and hotels at the Hotel del Coronado in San Diego. That hotel is 128 years old. I mean, if they can do it, anybody can do it. And currently, right now, we have 4 more hotels in the application process right now, 9 more considering, and we're going after 55 more hotels. And this is all because of how this partnership works. You know, we do the certification, we go in and sell the certification. Patty sends them a letter and say, boys and girls, we need you to join this program. And that works because she opens the door, she knows all the GMs, and this is important for your communities because the visitors and convention people know everybody, and everybody knows Patty, and that's how we get in the door because it's hard sometimes to see these GMs because they're so busy. And, oh, this is another good one. We didn't know anything about this. This is from Washington State University last year. The single most important thing is to become certified by an independent and credible agency, such as Green Seal and Leadership in Energy and the Environmental Design, LEED, the major certification program for the lodging industry. They weren't messing around. They checked everybody out. And I'm glad to say the USGBC's in this thing with Green Seal. We're pretty good at what we do. Okay, oops, go back. How do we do this? Well, Mac, who's here, and our staff at our booth, and by the way, that's 2166. If you want to stop by, we'll give you goodies and talk your ear off. But what we do is how it works is download and review the GS33 standard and guidebook, fill out the online preliminary certification request form, submit an application, and we're very confidential about what happens with the hotels. They don't want people knowing what's going on. And they work with a project manager to submit purchasing records, schedules, and other required data. On-site audit takes place near completion, and then certification is a 12-month license, and monitoring is done regularly to ensure that everybody stays on board. And again, assistance for filing applications is available for independent consultants. So that's the end of my presentation, and we're waiting for questions. And thank you for listening.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Gary. This is on. Yeah. So what do we know? We know that that hotels have a big impact. They're one of the biggest environmental impacts of a city. You can take a program like this to your own city, get the mayor involved, get the tourism board involved, and you can make this happen. So it really does work. So who's got questions? Anybody got questions?
Hi, my name's Letha Barnard. I'm with BASF. And my question is, so I'm assuming we didn't get any detail on Greensill, that it's more from an operations perspective, right? An existing hotel that we're going to certify a Greensill. I'm just curious because some hotels may decide to, like in new construction, do LEED and then maybe not do Greensill, or do Greensill, not LEED. So I'm curious if Greensill program looks at new construction at all in terms of particularly location, right? Because it's seemingly what you're trying to achieve with the plan, you know, about keeping cars off the streets, utilizing, you know, mass transportation, metro rails that are going and things like that, particularly for, you know, having the Olympics here. So I'm just curious if it looks at that, you know, location, which would be huge in this kind of a market.
Hello? There you go. Well, we do the operations. That's the primary focus, the operations. So we go through, we have a whole checklist. And if the hotel's going into some remodel and not really building a new building, like they're going to replace their chillers, that's a checkoff. But and the better building challenge also, the two of us, we end up giving nags to the hotels. They just go, oh, uncle. So, but we're not dealing with the building of the hotel. That's a LEED situation. So, and we all kind of cooperate together.
Hi. I appreciate the success stories and the positivity, and it's a really exciting program and initiative. I'm wondering if you could tell us a bit more about some of the challenges and difficulties in making this work.
Well, first of all, getting in to see the GMs, and that's where Patty comes in. And once we get in there, it's kind of interesting because once we get in there and we do what we do to get them on board, we start talking about the bottom line and all the benefits. And when they start seeing money, they're going, oh, we can save that money. I should tell you, which I forgot to tell you, we have the new program we just started and it was announced yesterday, the Green for Green program. We're actually incentivizing the hotels. We're going to pay half of their application fee up front. And then we're going to pay 25% of the renewal fee. So when you start talking about their margins and who they are as hotelers, they start to listen. Part of the problem that we're finding with hotels is either smaller hotels are tougher to do. Our fees are, you know, our fees. And the other thing is foreign-owned hotels are sometimes hard to get through to because they don't understand what we're trying to do here. So to answer your question, that's what we do. And it is difficult sometimes to get the GMs to, but we're working at it. And one of the other big things that we do is really nice is after we get done doing all this, we call Susanna over at the mayor's office and the mayor sends them a letter. Says, thank you, we'd like you to join the program. That works.
We're palling over here. One of the biggest challenges, too, is the hotels do have their own brand of green, and at no point do we ever want to diminish that.
Right.
But for us to really be able, as a destination, to talk about the meaningfulness of the certification, having one standard really, really helps. And then to Gary's point, is just getting their attention. I mean, the most perishable thing to a hotelier is that room being sold or not sold that night. And so it just takes time. And he may say, I'm like the opener, but this guy is the closer. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and I can say, you know, attesting to the variability of projects. I mean, we're engaging with some of these owners at a very different stages of their cycle and their analysis of whether sustainability is for them or not. So sometimes we're getting engaged with projects that are very far upstream, and having to take them and their organization from, the inception to, actual project implementation. That's a very long cycle sometimes for these organizations, particularly for organizations that are REITs or institutions that have bureaucracy associated with them. So I think that's something that I've seen being a challenge.
The mayor also hosts stakeholder meetings with hotel GMs just to give them a flavor of what a Green Seal certification is. And there was one that we hosted at City Hall, and a number of the hotels caved in and wanted to get certified. So it's that outreach and in a really meaningful way of having a conversation with the hotels.
Hi, LA, it's great that we're doing all these things here, and it can be a very wonderful city, but as we all know, it does face some significant transportation challenges. Is there anything from a private / public partnership perspective, or any discussions or work going on to address some of that and some of the challenges we face?
I can talk to that. Under the Sustainable City Plan, under mobility and transit, there's a huge investment already with the Metropolitan Transit Authority for the rail system. We have had 6 connections to the Gold Line, 7 connections to the Expo Line that are near hotels. At the same time, we have a measure that will be a ballot measure that will be in the November elections for Measure M, and that is an additional $120 billion in investment, putting in a half-cent tax for the County of Los Angeles. We have also launched our bike share, which is one of the mobility options here in the city, and we are in the process of electrifying the vehicles. And this is really in partnership with other private companies, whether it's Lyft or Uber, that will be hopefully fielding in more electric vehicles, offering them and not just the traditional gas-guzzling vehicles. We always look at when a hotel is being built with regards to transit-oriented development. And that's where our planning processes and our business folks from the mayor's economic development office gets involved and really take a look at where that facility or hotel will be based and what types of opportunities in terms of public-private partnerships, whether it's with the transit companies or whether it is with other ride share, car share companies, so that we can, number one, reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and at the same time offer more mobility options for our customers.
Unfortunately, we're at 3 o'clock, so we're at our time limit, and I know that many of you have questions. I welcome you to please help me thank the panel for their time today, and that you approach them afterwards. Thank you all for your